Good morning. The morning is good. It's a glorious day. How everybody feeling out there? I'm feeling good this morning, even though it's raining. Me and my boys was having a conversation over the weekend, and one of them said they was tired of talking about business. That struck me as odd, so I immediately asked them, "What else is there to talk about?" And they said, I still want to talk about getting money, but I just don't want to talk about the business." Already I'm lost because I'm thinking anything that ties into money should be incorporated into a business. Some sort of income. If the outcome is income, then you're doing good. But if you're just sitting around talking about things that don't matter, like who this person messing with and them people beefing, they fighting over whatever they fighting over. If your conversations are of that nature, more than you're talking about business, maybe you need to reevaluate your friends. Because myself, whoever I'm around or whoever been around me, understand that 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, I'm not going to act like I talk about business all the time, but 8 times out of 10, my mind is automatically on something to do with some kind of business to help me progress in the future for my kids. I can't just sit around and we've been together for 5 hours, and for 4 hours we've been talking about a bunch of stuff that don't matter. 30 minutes we talked about business, and then the other 30 minutes was the tail end of what we might want to do to start a business. That's the wrong crowd to be around. I'm somebody who holds myself accountable for every action that happens in my life. Everything that I can control, I hold myself accountable. So if I allow myself to be around people who is not like-minded as me, of course they're going to pull me into thinking the way they thinking. Because it's easy for somebody to always give you the negative answer to change your thoughts. We had this conversation, how one person could want to start something, have a great idea, but 2 or 3 out of your group will feed you the negative. You don't want to do that. Somebody else already doing it, or man, it might not turn out right, or this and that. Whatever negative energy they can feed off or give off, they will. And if you accept it, it will seep into your mind to where you be like, well, maybe I shouldn't do it because maybe it won't work. Instead of thinking maybe it will work, and your circle of friends should be champion behind you, telling you, look, try this. It should work. Or it might work, or you might want to do it this way, or you might want to do it that way. That's more positive than somebody automatically telling you something negative. And to sit around and to talk about a bunch of nothing, probably something we did half our life. In order for us to change our situation, that means me, you, and anybody who listens. In order for your situation to change, you have to do things that are different than what you have been doing previous. I'm not a reader. I don't read books. That's something I've never been fond of. Because at a young age, I was always wanting to be hands-on. But now I understand the importance of reading and taking the time to acquire more knowledge than what I hear from people. When you read it, more than likely it should be fact, unless you're reading some tabloids or something. But if you're reading a meaningful book, like a book on business, that should be based on fact. If you're reading a book on anything that's profitable for you, it should be something on fact, and it should be something that help you reinforce your thoughts and help you even come up with a better strategy to execute your plan. I understand that most of my words are held to a higher standard. Like the people who I'm in constant contact with, they hold my words to a higher standard than they might hold their own words. Like I might tell somebody, look, I ain't drinking no more for this year. I'm done drinking. Okay, that's cool. But they will watch me just to say, aha, you said you weren't going to drink for the year, and now look at you drinking. I think the reason for that is just so they can say, look, he got some chink in his armor. He say one thing and he means something different. But they don't even hold themselves to that same standard they hold me. It's easier for people to point the finger at everybody else instead of saying, well, damn, do I do the same thing? Do I make statements that I know I can't follow through on? And maybe if you do, maybe you need to stop pointing and sit back and say, okay, he didn't do it. Well, maybe if I was there to tell him, look, dog, I'm behind you so you don't drink all year. Instead of sitting back waiting for somebody to drink just so you can say, aha, you didn't do what you said you were going to do. Maybe we as a collective can start changing our habits and grow to be better people. I know I talk about business a lot because that's something that I done took hold of. Regardless of what it is. When I was working out, I was telling my boys about working out more, living healthier. When I stopped eating beef and pork, I was telling them about that, how good my body felt. Anything that I find that is beneficial to anybody that I'm in close contact with, or anywhere that anybody, if somebody's close enough to hear my voice, you best believe that I'm be talking about something to betterment. I'm looking for the betterment of people. Black, white, Asian, everybody. I want everybody to do better. Because once your neighbors do better, guess what? You would do better. You ain't worrying about them taking nothing from you because they doing better. So it works hand in hand of how the economy and everything can grow when everybody is looking to hold themselves accountable and make their situations better. Some people will be left behind. Everybody is not made to be a boss. I understand that. Some people are made to be workers. Some people are made to be supervisors. They feel more comfortable in a supervisor position than they feel in the boss position because they say it's too much work, is what I hear a lot. I don't want to deal with all that paperwork. To me, it's amazing that a couple extra $1,000 a year that somebody can have on their check that they would rather not do because they don't want to deal with the paperwork or it's a headache. And I thought everybody liked money. So I never understood why somebody would turn down a manager's or a supervisor's job because they saying it's too much work, but then they crying about how much money they make. That's to me, that's counterproductive. But me understanding that everybody is not meant to be a boss, that's not saying that everybody is not meant to make money. Brainstorming, sitting around talking about ideas, really, those things really triggers the brain to actually think of solutions for problems. And if we are working together, maybe since you can't be the boss, we can brainstorm together to where you don't have to be the forefront, but we as a collective can get a business going to where all us benefit. That's the ways I look at a lot of things that I get involved with. One thing my wife told me that now it made me change my thoughts is she was like, well, Chaz, do you need somebody to help you do any kind of business you do? Nah, it ain't that. I don't. I mean, but I like helping my people. I like helping people who I see, especially their families. If I'm close with them, I want to see their family happy. So I'm always looking to bring somebody in. But my invitation isn't for everyone. Or it ain't just an invitation that once I get it started, you can jump in. I tell you from when I start, you jump in, we get stuff popping. But if you hesitant or you move at your own pace to get back with me, I done left. I mean, we still friends, but I'm taking off. But then I'm not trying to hear no complaining about, man, this ain't working or that ain't working. The reason why it ain't working, because you ain't working. Everybody is comfortable making the money they are making. People get a paycheck and complain about that paycheck. The moment it hit their hand, they complaining. But won't lift one finger to change their check. Won't lift one finger. They'll get it and complain. Oh man, this job ain't doing nothing, this and that. Nah, I ain't getting that. All you hear is complaining. I call it happy complaints. Because you got to be happy with the check you get. You just complaining. Because if you wasn't happy, you would change your situation in a heartbeat. It's easy to be done. Especially all it takes if you want a better job, go out and find one. Don't be scared of change. Change is good sometimes, especially when it's helping your pockets out. But make sure you are happy. Don't just be chasing a dollar. I don't chase dollars. I make dollars. I've trained myself to say, I don't say I'm chasing after this money or I'm chasing a dollar. What you doing today? Chasing a dollar? No, I don't say that no more. I train myself to say I'm making a dollar, because a dollar ain't running from me. A dollar is out here to be made. It's on me to find a way to make it come in my direction. So that's how I view it, most of the things. And